It's Tuesday, April 13th, 2021, and we've got some Ethiopia news. Get ready. Let's go. Well. Things are progressing quite nicely. We have got some news out of Ethiopia, and it's actually from the Ethiopian Prime Minister, not about Cardano specifically, but he does lay out his 4 pillars for what he calls Digital Ethiopia 2025. We're going to cover that today and some other news. Let's do it. So we've heard a lot about the Pan-Africa strategy and a mysterious deal in Ethiopia quite a bit from Charles and IOHK. I don't recall us hearing a lot from the actual Ethiopian government, but here we have the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, and basically here he's laying out how he's going to take Ethiopia from where it is right now to what he calls Digital Ethiopia 2025. There are 4 foundational building blocks. We have digital identity, interoperable payment platforms, e-government applications, and e-commerce. So digital identity, interoperable payment platforms, e-government applications, and e-commerce. This sounds like a pretty damn good strategy, right? We've been hearing chatter. There's been a little chatter all along that the Ethiopia deal would involve telecom. And this article is mainly about how he's going to liberalize the telecom industry in Ethiopia. There's sort of one player there that has a little bit of a monopoly, not a little bit, a lot of a monopoly on the telecom market. His 4 building blocks that he laid out down here are very similar to talking points we've heard Charles use in relation to this mysterious Ethiopia bird, right? The bird sort of representing this mysterious deal that, of course, this is kind of a classic business scenario. A business is dealing with a foreign government and everything takes 20 times as long as they expected to at the outset. So Charles has been telling us, hey, some birds landed on my shoulder and told me you've got some good news next month. That was months ago. and then little bits have sort of drifted out. Little bits of info about what this deal actually is have drifted out. We kind of know it's about Ethiopia. We know. I think at this point we can just say we know it's about Ethiopia. Charles posted a tweet of an Ethiopian white-cheeked Turako and John Hancock. John Hancock being synonymous with a signature in the U.S. And that was sort of the little clue that the prime minister had signed this deal, or some kind of minister had signed the deal. And we've heard Charles talk about digital identity. That's been a big talking point as a part of his Pan-Africa strategy. Interoperable payment platforms. I love to see this. I was afraid the deal would just be digital identity. I love to see interoperable payment platforms. E-government applications, also good. E-commerce, of course. So this could be fantastic. E-government applications could be a large umbrella that takes in a lot of different things. What kind of effect would it have in a lot of the developing world and sort of the semi-developed world too, if we actually had fair voting? The story of attempted democracy in developing countries and even semi-developed countries is, one that's often ridden with voter fraud. So if we had these kind of if e-government applications encompasses voting systems to eliminate voter fraud, this could revolutionize the attempts of these types of countries to get to full democracy. So very exciting news from Ethiopia. Looking forward to more. Maybe this means we'll actually get our Africa special this month. Very exciting. Item number 2. Here we have the release of the beta version of the Emurgo dApp connector, basically a MetaMask killer that we knew something was going to take the place of MetaMask in the Cardano ecosystem, as far as there being sort of like a front end user experience. When people go to visit the website of a dApp, they've got to interact with that website, in some some, non-clumsy mechanical manner, right? I mean, we can't have people copy and pasting, like smart contract addresses or something into some kind of very complicated command line interface, system. That's never going to work for actual adoption by normal people. However, MetaMask, you go to a website, right, that represents that dApp, and then MetaMask interacts with that website for you, right? Anybody who's used Decentraland has done this before. Now we have that with the Emurgo dApp connector. And just as promised, I mean, they were very transparent about how this was going to work. As planned, it runs on Ergo for now, but the plan is that it would run on Cardano later. Man, if anybody downloads this and uses it today, I would love to hear. Please comment below if you've used the dApp connector. Charles did a great interview on Monday with Alessandro Conrad. He is a German college student in Munich who brought us SpaceBudz, developing stuff on Ethereum, creating smart contracts over there. And then he ran into somebody who wanted him to build out this SpaceBudz project. He wisely figured out very quickly that it would be a lot better to build it on Cardano than on Ethereum, and built out the SpaceBudz project on Cardano. And there's a really interesting discussion here where Alessandro, sorry, he's got two names that could be first names in the US. Alessandro explains how he wanted the metadata from the SpaceBudz to be forever inextricably linked to the actual token. He didn't want that to be a broken chain. He wanted everybody to always be able to see the metadata. That being sort of like, what kind of animal this little SpaceBudz astronaut was, what he's holding. I think people probably know some of them have they have these little artifacts like snorkeling gear and stuff like that. I might be making that one up, but they have stuff like that. And he wanted all that metadata to be linked forever to the actual tokens. And he figured out this novel DIY kind of way to do that. And then he also figured out a great way to distribute on an automated basis 10,000 of these SpaceBudz, right? This is the guy who figured that all out, and he talks about it quite a bit. We covered, I think it was last week, a blog post that I believe Alessandro authored that explained how he did the actual distribution of the SpaceBudz, distributing these 10,000 SpaceBudz. Basically, he just had a wallet, and if you sent ADA into the wallet, it automatically distributed out to you a random SpaceBud. He said the initial fee for SpaceBud was 50 ADA, and they sold out pretty rapidly. So that's that's 500,000 ADA. So Alessandro sitting pretty, good for him. He deserves it due to his DIY style innovation. I have a feeling he's in the Plutus Pioneers program, he says now, and I have a feeling we will see more awesome things out of him. Good job, Alessandro. Here we are back to my favorite use case ever, traceability. And it's also traceability of one of my favorite products ever, the most widely consumed mind-altering substance on Earth, coffee. We all drink it. We all love it. Okay, not all of us, but a lot of us drink it and a lot of us love it, including myself. I think I have probably had 7 espressos already today. No exaggeration. I definitely get up into double digits sometimes. I really love coffee, and I love this use case. Farm to Cup, Indonesia's Alco Brews plans to export blockchain coffee to China. And here we have Emurgo charging in with a traceability platform, which I believe, let's see, it'll tell you the data on the farmer, the plantation site, the harvest day, where the beans were processed, the method of processing, natural, wet hold, or honey processing. I don't even know too much about that. This coffee processing here. I know a little bit about the roasting. The roasting and even the taste and aroma profile data is uploaded onto the system, stored in the blockchain, I'm sure, and the QR code can be scanned at any point in the supply chain. So we've talked about it before on this channel, but traceability is something we don't have much of. When goods come from the developing world into the developed world, we don't have much traceability. Various nation states laws will require the seller to tell you the country of origin. That's the case largely in North America here. However, you don't get much beyond that. Like, you don't really know. Like, this coffee might say Indonesia, and that's all we know. We don't. I mean, Indonesia is not a small country, and we don't even know what part of Indonesia the coffee came from, let alone all this data that Emurgo wants us to know. So I think this is going to be a big step up, and I think this might be overly optimistic, but what I believe is that this level of traceability of goods from the developing world will hopefully lead to a little bit more accountability in some way, indirectly, a little more accountability as to the people on the ground in the developing country getting a little bit bigger chunk of the whole pie as far as the coffee goes. That is our last item today. I think we're off to a great start. This news from the Ethiopian Prime Minister, the fact that they're actually talking about the same things that IOHK is talking about, man, to me, that's a lot of reassurance that this Ethiopia deal, it's looking at me like it's really going to happen. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow.